Hello everyone, it is Dani'i and welcome to this update video this morning. I hope you guys are doing well, and we're going to be looking at what is happening across the Caribbean in terms of the rainfall activity and even the winds. And for many of us across the Northern Caribbean, it has been much cooler with the passage of that front and that mass of cooler air that's followed behind it. So we'll be talking about that and what to expect through today, but also unfortunate news coming from the other side of the world in China. So just near midnight local time on Monday, there was a magnitude, estimated to be a magnitude 5.9 by the U.S. Geological Survey. Meanwhile, the China Earthquakes Network Center recorded a magnitude 6.2 earthquake. I mean, that's a very unfortunate time for an earthquake to strike because most persons are sleeping, but also it was in the Gansu province of China, which is one of the poorest regions there, and many of the homes are built in a traditional way without the proper reinforcement to actually withstand a sizable shaking such as the one that took place late Monday night. And over 150,000 houses have been damaged or destroyed, and so far an estimated more than 130 lives lost due to the shaking. And even with persons that may still be trapped in rubble, it's kind of a race against time because temperatures are sub-zero. They're very, very cold, and hypothermia would be the next concern with those individuals that may be stuck. But it is very unfortunate news, and my thoughts and prayers are with the people of China at this time who have lost loved ones or who've lost their homes in such a seismic event. And now we're going to head on to what is happening in the Caribbean, but also I posted a new video this morning in regards to the Caribbean not being so lucky in the next hurricane season based on the early predictions which are coming out. So you can go ahead and check out that video. The link to it is in the pinned comment down below. Now here we are taking a look at the satellite imagery, and we can see that there are a couple of systems out there. We're seeing lots of convection, that little cluster there of all of that shower and thunderstorm activity as well, not impacting anyone. Also that airflow pressure to the west-southwest of the Azores right there, and also that front, the boundary of that front extends into the Caribbean, and where it extends in the Caribbean, it is stationary, meaning that it's not moving right now, but it is also weakening because this system looked a lot more impressive a couple of days ago, especially while impacting the U.S., and it brought its dangerous impacts, of course. But now, in the wake of it, there are impacts in the Caribbean, and we're going to be looking at all of that in this video. So taking a closer look here at the infrared satellite imagery, we can see all these clouds, and some of these cloud patches contain a lot of moisture. A lot of rainfall activity has been taking place. And also over in the Eastern Caribbean, in the vicinity of the Lesser Antilles, the Windward Islands, there's been some moisture coming in, especially yesterday, which has resulted in some substantial rainfall, which further induced flooding across some areas. So that's been very unfortunate. I hope that everyone is doing okay, and should you encounter floodwaters at any point, please do not take any unnecessary risks. And so let's look at the rainfall forecast for today. So this is from the Euro model, and where this map becomes more colorful, that is indicating more rainfall activity. But thankfully through today, the rainfall across the Caribbean is not expected to be more than, say, just over an inch, maybe an inch and a half at the most across those areas expected to receive such amounts of rainfall. So for the Caribbean islands, we're seeing mostly some of these gray and these lighter green shadings, which indicate little rainfall activity, maybe some passing showers or a very brief heavy downpour, who knows. But looking in the vicinity of Hispaniola, especially northern Haiti and the Dominican Republic, we're seeing that it gets a bit more colorful there. So there could be some periods of some heavy rainfall, and rainfall has been impacting the area. So with the soil already being saturated, if there's a lot of heavy rain and the area is flood prone, that would make it more vulnerable to actually flooding today. Hopefully that's not going to be the case. Also see in southwest Haiti, the the western portion of the Tiburon Peninsula with some of those more colorful shadings as well. And then much of the expected rain for today expected to be to the south of Jamaica. So some areas may experience some passing showers. It's been very cool and windy here. I'm sure many of us are loving it. It's a good break from all the heat that we've experienced this year over in Central America as well, near the Caribbean coast of many of these countries. There may be some showers moving into some areas as well, especially down in the vicinity of Costa Rica and Panama, even for Colombia. Not exactly related to the front, but we're seeing that some decent rainfall activity is possible there. And also, as we look further toward the east, going to parts of southern Venezuela and even for sections of the Guyanas, there may be some substantial rainfall. ABC Islands, some showers may be in the area. As you look toward Trinidad and Tobago, a whole lot of rainfall is not expected here. And then across the Grenadines, Grenada, even for Barbados as well. Some of these areas, as I said earlier, have experienced some decent rainfall, which has induced flooding. So today, less rainfall is expected, which is some good news. And things may be on the drier side for St. Vincent all the way north through Anguilla. Looking toward the Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, much is not expected either. Also, same story for much of the Bahamas and even for the Turks and Caicos Islands. Cuba, the Cayman Islands, not expected to receive much rainfall through today. But again, it's going to be quite windy. As I speak, let's go on to that map. So this is also from Euro for later today. And where we see some of those blue areas, that is indicating those winds up to around 20-25 knots thereabout. And we can see these darker shades of purples and these blues, showing that for the Western Caribbean, for the most part today, will likely be experiencing those winds over 15 knots, going up to around 20-25 knots, where we see some of those darker blue shadings. So it's going to be quite windy, winds coming from the northeast. So for Florida, the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos Islands, Cuba, the Cayman Islands, some sections of Jamaica, potentially Haiti as well, even going toward the Caribbean coast of Central America, may experience these very windy conditions, and that includes the islands of San Andres and Providencia. So that is what is going on. We see that over in the east, it is going to be more tranquil, maybe maximum winds up to around 5 or 10 knots for many areas. So that is what is expected in terms of the wind forecast for today. And then, of course, these stronger winds have been inducing those rough seas as well. Even here in Jamaica, this video was captured along the hip strip of Montego Bay. So those waves have been crashing ashore, and the blowholes were very active, which are some openings in the rocks which go down to meet the sea. And basically what happens is that with these stronger winds generating these rougher seas, all that pressure is being built up, and then the water just spews out of the cracks and it gives a marvelous show. So that is what has been going on. But as we head through the week, and especially into early next week, conditions are going to be improving. Matter of fact, even the cool down, many of us have been enjoying the cooler weather. Going to bed in these sweaters, it's been absolutely amazing, something that we could not do for sure in summer. So it's been enjoyable for many of us, but temperatures will be going back to normal, typical December temperatures as we head into next week for Christmas. This is the forecast from GFS. This is the anomaly map, and we can see some of these pale yellow and even these red shadings across many areas, indicating above average temperatures actually. So the whites indicate that things are going to be normal, meanwhile the yellow shadings going to the reds indicate above average temperatures. So things will likely be warming up, but there's going to be another front which may bring with it another massive cool air headed toward the start of 2024, and even into the first week of the new year there could be a significant cool down. But I'm here to keep you guys posted on all of that as per usual, and that is what I wanted to share with you in this update video. So I hope you found it to be quite informative. But if you have any questions, as always, please do leave them in the comments. I'll respond when I get the chance to do so, and remember to always be weatherwise.